91% of people who make New Year's resolutions fail to keep them by the end of the year. If you have set goals in the past that have not worked for you, try this instead. For the past couple of years, I've set huge goals for myself. When I was 18, I actually set a goal that I wanted to make $100 million by the age of 30. This was this big goal that I had set for myself. I really wanted to believe in myself and believe that I could do this, but it ended up leaving me feeling depressed, anxious, and just feeling like I'm not going anywhere in my life, because no matter how much I would accomplish in any given year, I was always so far behind this huge goal that I had set for myself. The challenge with goal setting is that we set goals that are not actually aligned to what we want. For example, my goal to make $100 million didn't actually have a purpose. For example, if I had made $10 million by the age of 30, I would probably have the same benefits that $100 million would give for me personally. And what I ended up realizing is the reason I set that big goal was that I simply wanted to have financial security in my life. I didn't want to experience the pain of poverty that I had as a child growing up. So I simply wanted to have enough money so that I could take care of myself and my family. Then in 2021, a very curious thing happened. I decided that year I'm not going to set any goals for the year. So in January, instead of writing stuff down, I left my goal setting page blank. What ended up happening is that I actually accomplished way more that year than I had ever done in the past. And this really made me confused, and during the year I was feeling anxious as well because I didn't have a goal, I didn't have something to focus on. Was I even making any progress? But by the end of the year, when I looked back, I had accomplished so much more. Through that process, what I realized is that even though I don't want to set goals for myself per se, especially big goals, it is important to have a vision of some kind as to what I want in the future so that I can sort of use it as my North Star to point me in the right direction. The difference between a vision and a goal is that a vision is more the benefit you will receive as a result of achieving the goal. For example, making 100 million may be the goal. The result is financial security, the ability to, go on vacations, have a nice home, the life that I would be able to live as a result of achieving that goal. So having a vision is important. A goal, in my opinion, not as much. And finally, in the last few years, I started to write down at the end of the year the accomplishments from that year. This was a time that I took to really brainstorm and just pull out all the wins that I had throughout the course of the year. Sometimes it's a little bit hard, especially to think of what you did in January, in December, but I take the time to write them down, and by doing so, I really started to take in the wins from the year and to really see the accomplishments that I've done in that past year. This gave me energy, it gave me momentum, it gave me this feeling of like I'm making progress in my life, which resulted in me being able to do more the following year. The third step is actually to make incremental progress on a weekly basis, daily basis, on a very short amount of time. This came from me feeling frustrated that I had all these ideas of things that I wanted to do, and it was hard for me to make progress in any of those areas at the same time because they were just all in my head. So I realized, okay, let me just write these all down, and as soon as I wrote it down, that week I found myself doing way more than I had ever done before. So I was like, wait a second, okay, there's something here. So then what I decided to do is at the beginning of each week, let me just write down all the tasks I need to get done in order to move closer to that vision. And these have to be small tasks because in a period of a week, how much can you really get done? But by doing this, I was able to make way more progress, and the progress I made in 1 week sort of built into the following, and it started to compound on itself. So instead of setting goals, create a vision for your life, make a weekly to-do list to make incremental progress, and then at the end of the year, take stock of your accomplishments. Now again, a vision is something that has to be very important to you. It can't simply be someone else's goal for you or what someone else is telling you that you should have as a goal. This has to be something that deeply connects with what you want in your life. Next, you want to make incremental progress part of your routine. A great quote that I heard about this is the only difference between an Olympic athlete and someone who dreams of going to the Olympic is the Olympic athlete makes daily consistent effort towards that goal. Anyone can have a goal of going to the Olympics or a dream of going to the Olympics. The people who make it there are the ones who made efforts on a daily basis. And finally, at the end of the year, you want to take stock of your wins so that you get to really see what did you accomplish in this past year and how you move the needle forward towards that vision. Many times, if your vision is large enough, it's not going to be accomplished in 1 year, but you are going to make significant progress towards it by those incremental actions. And it's important to see, okay, how much did I accomplish this past year? What did I really do? This exercise will give you energy so that in the next year, you will actually make more progress and you will gain even more momentum as time passes. Now, in order to help you actually take what I've shared and put it into practice, I've developed a little system here that I'm going to share in the description below so you can just copy and paste it and use it for yourself. I'm just going to read it out here. So in order to create a vision, here are some questions that you can answer. If things go my way, in 20 years, what would my life look like? Who are the people included in this vision? Your friends and family, maybe new people who are not there yet. And if it has a financial component, what is the cost and can it be achieved in an easier way? Because we tend to start with these big goals, these big numbers, but can we get the core of what our vision is and find out what is the simplest, cheapest way to accomplish it and to clarify that vision? Next, I'm going to share some tips in order to make that incremental progress. So every day or week, take a sheet of paper and write down the title, to-do list, and write down the 5 or 10 incremental steps you can make that week in order to get closer to your vision. These have to be things you can accomplish anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour because you're not going to have that much time during the week to make progress towards your vision. So make them simple, make them small, make them the first step you can take that week. And then as the week progresses, as you accomplish these tasks, check them off. You will feel good knowing that you're making progress towards your vision. And finally, in order to take stock of your accomplishments that year, here are my steps. First, take a blank sheet of paper, title it Accomplishments of the Year. In any order, write down the biggest, most meaningful accomplishments you had that past year. These can be, in your career, investing, your relationships and family, health, and, many more. Whatever is truly important to you that you feel great about from this past year. I would personally try to write down anywhere from 10 to 20. And if you don't think you can come up with it, I would take a bit of time to just sit down in front of a paper and just brainstorm this past year. What have I actually done that is worth writing down? So to take this concept and crystallize it further, let me give you an example. Say your vision is in 20 years, you want to retire comfortably and real estate investing is your vehicle of choice to get there. Every week, you need to write down a to-do list of tasks you can get done in anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. So if you don't have any properties, you may be asking, where is a good place to invest? What is the right strategy to invest in? Who are the professionals in the real estate industry that you can ask questions and learn more about? And once you find the right professional, maybe you want to go out and see some projects that they're working on, some properties that they recommend as investments so that you get a better idea of what you need to do in order to get started. At the end of the year, you write down your accomplishments. Maybe you got as far as buying your first property, or maybe simply you figured out where you want to invest, what strategy you want to implement, how much money you will need to come up with to invest, and maybe you're not there yet, but you have a clearer idea of what you need to do to get there so that the following year you can break it down again into weekly tasks. Okay, how can I get closer to get to that vision for you? So in 2023, don't set goals. Instead, create a vision that is meaningful to you. Make a weekly to-do list with incremental steps you can take towards that vision and take stock of your accomplishments at the end of the year. This will lead to far more success, in my opinion, than a New Year's resolution. Don't be one of those 91% of people at the end of the year that feel like they have not been able to keep their New Year's resolutions. Let's make 2023 the best year for you so far. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you are interested in real estate investing as your vision for 2023 or in the future, check out our beginner's guide to investing in the Niagara region. It is one of the areas that I personally recommend to consider if you are interested in real estate investing. And until next time, all the best.